Once the barrier had been formed, the battle would commence. Basara and his team, Mio, Maria, and Roscoe, against the 4 heroes sent to eliminate Mio: Tekashi, Kurumi, Yuki, and Shiba. Basara would have his team stick to the plan, as he would engage with Kurumi, leaving Tekashi and Yuki to Mio and Maria, while Roscoe would get his one-on-one with Shiba, who seemed happily amused with the situation. So this was Basara's strategy. Not bad. I wouldn't expect anything less from the son of Jin Toujo. You're not going to be facing Basara. You're dealing with me. Yes, I'm aware, Roscoe. Always the more rambunctious of the hero clan. Still, you would think that after all this time you would have let go of your hatred. Like I'll ever let go of it. After everything you've done. Your very existence disgusts me. You know why I had to be created. In the end, it couldn't be helped. Your father did not die in vain. Shut the hell up! I'm going to destroy you! Shiba looked down at his hand. The elders had placed a seal on his heart, restricting him from full access to his power. At most, he could just enhance his physical stats, besides using a standard sword. No magic enhancement to it. But in the end, this would simply have to do. Very well then. Do your worst, Wind Master. Meanwhile, Maria and Mio would battle against the likes of Tekashi, all while Yuki stood back and observed, not getting into the fight. Tekashi wielded the Spear of Bako, one of the great entities that were imbued into its weapon. It was more so a tool than anything else, with a sacred power that allowed him control over the wind, along with his own affinity for ice magic. However, one of the restrictions of the Spear of Bako was that the user must always fight with his back to the west. If he fought towards the west, the spear would not activate, out of respect for one of the 4 gods of the cardinal directions. Basara knew this, and he had both Mio and Maria prepped for just this occasion, while Basara turned his sights to the likes of Kurumi, the younger sister of Yuki, who had mastery over the elemental magics, as well as her skilled in swordplay. For Kurumi, she felt like this was her chance to strike in revenge for the sake of her sister, believing that she had given all of herself to the likes of Basara, the one who she believed was a traitor. What's your deal, Basara? Why do you continue to do this? Is besmirching the hero name something that gives you joy? Is making others suffer really all you desire in this world? You've got it all wrong, Kurumi. It's not like that. I'm just standing for what is right. Surely you should know. You once took the oath of a hero, Basara. You were the best of all of us. So why? Why did you kill them? You know that's not what happened. But there could have been another way. Something else could have been done. Anything. Why couldn't you just... I didn't have a choice. I didn't want them to die. I didn't want anyone to die. When that sword got unsealed, if no one had had the power to stop it, our entire village would have been destroyed. I'm sorry, Kurumi. I did what I had to do. And I will live with that regret for the rest of my life. But I saved you, Yuki, everyone that I could. If I have to bear that hatred from the clan, then so be it. Fine, I'll play the role of your martyr if that's what you want. But I have this power for a reason. A power used to protect. And I promise you, I am going to do it. So why even have this duel? You have the power in your hand now. You could destroy us if you want. Or what? Do you think that if you have the power to crush us absolutely, and that if you choose to spare us, that somehow we'll leave you alone? That's the idea. Foolish. Your greed knows no bounds. If you really think that you can have it all, why not? Why does it have to be one or the other, Kurumi? Basara said. Why must I have to make a sacrifice? The true essence of a hero is someone who can save everyone. That's what I plan to do. I will fight you. I'll crush you if I have to. I'll destroy you until there's nothing left, but I won't take your life. I won't be the monster that you think I am. If I have to break every bone in your body, then so be it. If achieving peace means that I have to make an example out of you, then that's just what's gonna have to happen. You truly are arrogant if you think you can beat all of us. Just how much pride can the son of Jin Toujo muster? Kurumi would summon the 5 elements as she began to attack at Basara. Basara raising his sword as he got into his stance and began with the 10-fold style, Vanishing Slash. In an instant, he moved faster than the eye could see. Each one of the attacks were cut through one at a time, before finally getting in close range as he activated his power of the Banishing Shift. With her elemental power sealed, and with the aftermath of the explosion, Kurumi was rendered out of the fight. But before she could descend onto the ground and crash, Basara would save her. For Kurumi, her anger would temporarily subside as she saw, just for the briefest of moments, the look of an old friend whom she used to know. In that moment, just a mere 5 seconds after he had used his power, that's when it hit him. The butt of Yuki's sword, smacking him directly in the face. Big sister, why would you? I was watching him intently through your fight. His 10-fold style. It had a delay. A delay? What are you talking about? You fired multiple discharges of your elemental magic. Didn't you see it? He used his speed to get to where each one of the attacks would be. Afterwards, he turned off his speed power and used the power of the Banishing Shift. You know that he has to hold the sword with 2 hands to activate that power. But when he fights using his speed, he fights with only a one-handed sword style. As Kurumi thought about it, she realized that her sister was right. He wasn't using his speed and the power of the sword at the same time, but he moved so fast that it was hardly perceivable. Your eyes could really tell? Kurumi, although shocked by the intensity of the moment, she was left awe-inspired of her sister to actually break down Basara's ability and to find the perfect time to counter. You truly are exceptional. But why? Why would you choose to? Because I don't want him to get involved. He has suffered long enough. He shouldn't have to carry this burden alone. So that is why I will finish it. In the meantime, both Mio and Maria found themselves being pushed as Tekashi moved and advanced forward with the spear of Bako, the spirit of the tiger, the guardian of the West, continuing on in his assault. Even when they believed they had cornered him underground, Attempting to use elemental magic to subdue him, it did them little good. It seemed as though they would be done for if not for the aid of Yuki in that moment. From a distance, Roscoe continued on in his onslaught against the likes of Shiba, who continued fighting in a more defensive style, avoiding the torrent blast of violent winds and vortex shots. He truly is exceptional, Shiba would say. No wonder why he was always seen as a rival to Basara, though neither one of them have truly reached the status of godhood. It is just within their fingertips. The village will be very pleased with this new development, although he could be seen as a liability. And the girls have underestimated Tekashi as well. It would be wise not to take lightly the wielder of the spear of Bako, an inherited tool of the hero clan. He is not one to be mocked. Get out of my way, Yuki. Do you plan to be a traitor as well? Tekashi, Yuki would say, you must open your eyes to the truth. You know that the only thing I know is that I have a mission. Tekashi readied himself as he pointed his staff. The fangs of Bako cry out for vengeance, and I will satiate that hunger. I have held in this hate for 5 years now. In one way or another, someone will feel this wrath. I don't want it to be you. But once it starts, there's no way to stop it. If I must cut through you and rip you apart to fulfill my duty, then that is what will be done. You talk about duty, but yet you know, deep down in your heart, that this is wrong. You are being consumed by hate, Tekashi. That is not the essence of a hero. Then fine, I'm not a hero. Call me whatever you want. I don't really care. First Basara, now you, Roscoe. I must be losing my mind or something. Do you think that you're the only one who felt pain that day? You don't know what pain is! My family, my brother, my sister, my mother and father, they're all gone! Wiped away from this very plane of existence. I couldn't even bury the bodies. I had nothing. Basara took everything from me. Even if he got to be banished, at least he still had a father to take him. I went home to nothing. Nothing at all. And what? You're telling me that I'm just supposed to let go? That I'm just supposed to forget? Don't make me laugh, Yuki. No, you are the one who was mistaken. I'm doing what should have been done a long time ago. One way or another. Basara is going to die. Is that right? Basara said as he stood behind Tekashi. Basara! Tekashi. So you finally showed yourself. Are you ready to face up to what you've done? I'll do whatever it takes. Basara raised his sword. Only holding it in one hand, he used his speed to evade every one of Tekashi's strikes, blocking every one of the spear's advances with his sword. Don't mock me! Show me your full power! I want to face the power that took my family and crush it! You know that's a very unwise decision. If I did so, I'd only end up destroying you. Is that right? You really think you can take me out, Basara? You really have become an arrogant piece of work No better than your father, Gene. You go around acting all high and mighty, like the rules don't apply to you. You think that just because you have power, that somehow you're exempt from punishment? You don't really believe that. And who the hell are you to tell me what I believe? Now, Spear of Bako, grant me your divine protection over the winds of the west. Allow me to bear my fangs at my enemy and rip them apart! Basara would continue to evade every one of Tekashi's strikes, and slowly, he began to overpower him. Tekashi, you don't know what power truly is. What? The power that I wield. You think that I enjoy it? You think it makes me happy to have it inside of me? It makes me sick. Truthfully, if I could die now, that would be a blessing. But I don't get that kind of luxury. There are people in this world that need me. What? The demon? That's what you're choosing to protect. Have you forsaken everything that you were raised to believe? Everything we stood for. Everything that your father, my father, that our clan fought for. They are our enemies, Basara. But not only do you betray us, you choose to protect her. You would let the world be destroyed for your own pride. How low can you sink? I do protect her for pride. The pride that I have for my family. The love that I have for them and for you. Love? Love for me? There is no love for me, Basara. Because if you had any, you never would have left. So that's what this was about. Abandonment. The spear of Bako had begun to glow, standing forward as now Tekashi could no longer wield it. He had no choice but to back away. Everyone did as it began to glow, and the aura of the spirit Bako began to form. The white tiger. It began to grow in size as a barrier was formed around it, even to the point where both Sheba and Roscoe had to stop their fight. What the hell? I knew something like this was going to happen, Sheba said. Now, Roscoe, I'm sure I don't have to tell you. If the spirit of Bako goes out of control, a lot of lives are going to be lost. Do you think we can take a rain check on our fight? Damn it! Roscoe would fly down to where Basara was, regrouping with the others. Roscoe, you held your own out there. Yeah, whatever. What the hell's going on with Tekashi? Why is the spirit Bako acting up like that? Because when the user of the spear fights in a defensive position for long enough, eventually the self-defense mechanism of the spear will activate, causing the spirit of Bako to awaken into its true form. That can't be good. It's not. As long as it stays in this current state, it won't do any harm. But the moment that it's fully active, the spirit of Bako will go on the offensive, eventually destroying everything in its path just to get to me. But why would you even do something like that? Because I have the banishing shift. I can dissipate Bako's power. Perhaps I can even destroy the spear if need be. Don't do something like that, Yuki would say. You'll anger the god Bako. If you do, you'll be branded as a heretic for sure. There will be nowhere safe for you on Earth. Not like I ever had a safe place to begin with. I'll handle it. What? Yuki would say. I can take it down. I know I can. You can't do it alone. That's right, we'll help you, Mio and Maria said. No, it's too dangerous for you all to get involved, especially with your inheritance as a demon. Bako will surely strike you down. We can't leave you alone. But we have to figure out something. There's no way that we can just allow Bako to go wild and... Yeah, you're right, another voice said, tired and exhausted. Who the... No way. No way. It's... Ah, Shiba said. Lord Sagan Amawaka. To what do we owe the pleasure? Shut it, you damn brat. You know very well why I'm here. The spirit of Bako was felt in this region. At first, I was just going to ignore it, believing that someone was just using the tool recklessly. But now this has become something that I can't ignore. Just children making a mess. Honestly, who raised you all? You should learn to take responsibility. Lord Sagan, Basara said. Save it, Tojo's kid. Yeah, I know who you are and what you're all about. Cursed sword, village, this, that. News travels rather fast, you know. And now here you all are, fighting out here in the middle of the city, potentially putting lives at risk. And for what? For some stupid pride? Is that really what this is all about? And you, boy! Tekashi looked up as Sagan approached him. Lord Sagan, sir, When you were given that tool, it was meant as a gift to the hero clan. I find it to be an insult that you would use the power of Bako in such a manner. I'm sorry. You were entrusted with that tool. And do you know why? The spirit of Bako is a spirit that is not easily tamed. The power of the white tiger is that of a protector, not that of an avenger, especially in a case where no one was wronged. You know deep inside of your heart the truth of what happened to your clan, and you know that Basara was not responsible. He is the one who saved your village. If you were to try to strike him down with the spear of Bako, you would commit an unforgivable sin, and for that, it would be a punishment of your life. Please forgive me, Lord Sagan. You get one chance to prove me wrong. There won't be another. Now all of you clear back. I'll deal with this. Sagan would take out a talisman in hand as he met the aura of Bako, the beast emanating from the staff. Yeah, I know, the stupid kid pissed you off. But what can you do? The youth are always hard-headed these days, and sadly it's up to us to be able to guide them onto the correct path. This is probably going to sting a little, but it's for your own good. Now, Talisman Seal of Restraint, activate! Immediately, the talisman would attach itself to that of the spear, as the aura of Bako would retreat back into the staff from which it came. Well, that was a relief, Sagan said as he picked up the staff. You deserve a slumber. I'll try my best not to disturb you for a while. Please, forgive the transgression of man. Sagan would return to the group, taking the spear in hand as he tossed it to Tekashi. You're on suspension. When you return back to your village, that spear will not be permitted to leave until you've regained Bako's trust. Do you understand? Yes, sir. As for you, he came to Mio and chopped her on the head. Ow! All of this is happening because of you. You need to be responsible and clean up your mess. You can't expect people to just be those who you rely on all the time. Don't be a liability. Yes, sir. You. Ow! He chopped Basara. What was that for? Learn to master that power. It's been 5 years now. You need to get over that fear. You know the truth. So why are you shackled by burden and false lies? If you really want to protect everyone, if you truly want to ascend to what you're really capable of, then stop holding yourself back. And then finally, he approached Sheba, who only looked at him with a grin. Is there a lesson for me, sir? Rescind the execution order and go home. So how did you know? I know you. The elders wouldn't have just called in an execution for no reason. Don't you think you've played enough games around here? Nothing gets past you, Master Sagan. Quit wasting my time with these immature games. Take responsibility for yourself and get out of here. Very well, Master, as you wish. Before leaving, he turned back to Basara and pointed at him. This town is under your protection. Do a better job, Basara Toujo. Don't expect to have everyone coming back here to clean up after you. Take responsibility. He really likes to preach about responsibility. What was that? Nothing, sir. Nothing at all. I thought so. Now I have to go back and deal with my own bratty children. Rokuro. I can't believe that one of the 12 Guardians actually came here. Did we really screw up that badly? Maria said. Well now, I believe that settled things here for now. Everyone, it's time for us to return back to the village. That includes you, Roscoe, Yuki. Without word, the heroes would return back to their home. For some time, things remained relatively quiet. That was until, as Basara was coming home one evening, he smelled something. Pot roast. But who was cooking a roast? Everyone else had been out of the house. Why, it was none other than Yuki. Yuki had been returned back to her station, and she would continue to serve as the observer for Mio Naruse. And with that, another addition was added to their home. Of course, if you think that life goes back to normal from here, well then, what story have you been listening to? Because now it wasn't just that Yuki was now in the fold of the Toujo house. She also wanted to have a servant pact along with Basara. Of course, Basara was rather apprehensive to the idea of making yet another master-servant pact, but at Yuki's insistence, he would agree. During the night of the full moon, everything was supposed to go just fine. They were going to do it the right way, and they wouldn't have to deal with the succubus side effects of, well, Yuki had other ideas. She wanted to gain power through the Master-Servant Pact the same way that Mio and Maria did. That meant she wouldn't be kissing the ruined seal on his hand. She would allow it to dissipate, and now she would be stuck in the same situation as Mio. For Basara, life did not get any easier in the Toujo household, because now there were double the cheeks, double the perky mounds, double the headache, and yet somehow double the arousal. And the mischievous succubus was going to be recording the whole thing. But also, there was another welcome face, that being in the form of Roscoe. He showed up at Basara's school along with Yahiro. Wait, Roscoe, you're coming here too? Well, yeah. The elders figured that Yuki could use some backup, and I was the only one who's going to have the clearance to get out in the first place. Besides, got tired of looking at the mountains. I'm here to have some fun. So, Basara, who's your new friend? Yahiro would ask. Basara didn't want to waste any time or mince words. The three boys would convene on the roof, as the truth would be revealed. So, another member of the hero clan, huh? Basara, I know that things have changed since you left the village 5 years ago, but now you're just making friends with a whole bunch of demons? Seriously, man, what is up with you? Well, technically, I'm not really a hero anymore. I'm just an average guy trying to do the right thing. So what's it supposed to mean now? I know who you are, Roscoe said. Yes, and I'm aware who you are also, Turbine. Only my friends call me Turbine. What, we can't be friends? It's kind of hard to be when I know that there's a chance you and I are going to have to fight each other down the line. That might very well be true, but we can always be courteous to each other. Besides, we need to remember why we're all here. We're here for Mio's sake. She's the one we have to be concerned with. There are people on your side and mine who have their own plans. And if she gets caught in the crossfire, that could spell disaster for everyone. So I think it would just be in our best interest if we all agree to cooperate. We work together, we keep Mio safe, and we keep our bosses off of our backs. I can get behind that at least. For now, at least for Basara, things were going relatively well. His friends were all back together again, and now even more. He could feel himself getting stronger. Sure enough, they'd be able to pull through this. At least that's what he hoped. Over the next few days, strange occurrences would begin. It started with Maria. For some reason, the girl was being secretive. She was wandering about through the school, usually unattended. He even caught her speaking with Yahiro behind the school once. What about? He wasn't sure. He tried to ask her, but she played it off like it was nothing. He didn't feel like he had any reason to be concerned. But his concerns were soon changed to worries when one day he found himself being attacked. A couple of girls in the school had been under possession, but by who he didn't know. To make matters worse, Mio had been chased by Maria, who had sadly misinterpreted a certain situation. The possessed girls were now staring back to fight, and Yuki would be the one to face them. As Basara chased after both Mio and Maria, he arrived just in time to find a demon woman waiting for them. With her magic, the three were teleported away instantly, before Basara could reach them. Now the girls were gone. He had no way of knowing where. But there was one person who could potentially give him answers. Yahiro, Basara would say, confronting him as the sun was beginning to set over the roof of the school. Ah, what's up, Basara? I need to know about the demons that took Mio. Surely you know something. The demons that took Mio? Yeah, there was a woman, white hair, tall, tan skin, golden eyes. Ah, yes, you're talking about Lady Zest. So I see. They've finally begun to make their move. Who? Are you talking about the new Demon Lord? No, not him. If so, I would have gotten word from him firsthand. No, you're dealing with something else. There seems to be a saboteur in our midst. A saboteur? Just what the hell are you getting at? The one who's been responsible for everything in the background. I'm talking about Lord Vulga. Lord Vulga. His general? But why? Why would the general of the new demon lord act without his permission? For any other reason, personal gain, satisfaction. So he wants the power of the demon lord for himself. Power? Not necessarily. What Lord Vulga craves is something more carnal, something more satiable. You're not making any sense. Do I have to spell it out for you? You're dealing with a perverted old man who gets off on having something young and prime. And what could be more better than the voluptuous Mio Narse? So that's what all this is about? Everything that comes with her. The power is just an added bonus. Perhaps with that level of strength, he'll try to overcome Lord Leonhardt himself. You think he'd actually pull something like that? I know he would. There's something you need to understand about demon generals, Basara. Everyone's always out for themselves, to get what they want, without any regard for anyone or anything. It's a dog-eat-dog world, or better yet, it's demon-eat-demon. Everyone's always out for themselves. But what about Maria? Why would she help them? Answer me! You really want to know? Geesh, you really are a kind soul. Always getting yourself involved with people that you shouldn't. Look, Basara said as he drew his blade. Either you answer me, or I'll make you talk! Basara would transform. As he turned into the clothing of the Flash, he moved at blinding speed and drew his blade towards Yahiro, who he himself would transform as the aura of shadow formed around him, the two of them revealing their true selves. What do you think, Basara? This is who I truly am. Yahiro is just my human name. Who are you? I am known as Lars. Lars Obsidian. Or sometimes just Obsidian. The Master of Shadow. You truly want to know about the succubus? Fine, I'll tell you. Though I must say, Basara, going around using your sword to fight all of your problems, it's not a healthy trait to carry. Just answer me. Lord Vulga took the girl's mother as a hostage. You see, when he was originally attempting to get to Mio, Maria got to her first. Of course, he wasn't going to give up so easily, so instead he turned his sights to the succubus's mother. She is currently his prisoner. As such, he has now enlisted the succubus in his service. But if that's true, then that would mean, yes, from the very beginning, she was never on your side. Then why wait? She could have just handed her over at any point. How am I supposed to know? Maybe she thought someone would stop Lord Vulga, maybe she thought she could find another way, but in the end it looks like her time was up, and she made her choice. So now, Basara, you know the truth. What are you going to do about it? Later on that evening. And just what the hell do you want, Lars? Zess would ask. I've simply come to bargain. With what? There's nothing you have that's going to make me. Are you sure about that? I have the son of Jean Toujo, the grandson of J. Garrick Toujo. No way. How did you... What exactly do you want? I want Mio Narise. And you expect me to betray Lord Vulga? Why in a million years would I? Just think about it. You give up the would-be child of the demon lord, who may or may not ever awaken to her true power? Or you can have the head of the descendant of the two heroes who have caused the demon clan their greatest losses, enacting revenge almost 100 years in the making. Tell me, what do you think? Do you want to kill the Flash? This concludes Testament of the Sister New Devil Speed Burst. What if Basara Toujo was the Flash? Season 1, Part 4. As always, if you enjoyed today's video and everything else that we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcastings that has to come out now and in the future. And stay tuned next time as we continue with Testament of the Sister New Devil Speed Burst. What if Basara Toujo was the Flash? Season 1, Part 5. But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. I'm J-Ron Harrington with PowerCore Productions and Podcastings, signing off, and I'll see you next time.